Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting and everything and amazing Propagandacast with me, host from Pearl Dane, the one, the only Master Propaganda Hero, like Defender of the Fatherland, of it all 1v1 own Amilly Fields in the north. That is Isildur, fighting for the Oberkommand West Germany, Deutschland. Here with the 116th Panzerdivision Windhund with Special Operations, Breakthrough, and Overwatch. In the south, it is Jibber, fighting for America, freedom, democracy. Taking on the role here of the 5th Armored Division here with infantry featuring rifleman defensive structures, mortar half-tracks, light machine guns, timed target artillery barrages, and the priest howitzer. We got Fultz's Kuhwagen versus a double rifle start. Big hearty thanks to my patron supporters who support the Propagandacast for thick and thin. A big thanks to all those and their continued support, for the glory is worth it. Other people can join it by pledging on page on themselves. Links in the description. So, after this here, we got the Sturmpion advancing up here. Kugelwagen racing ahead here for Deutschland. And the Volksgrenadiers are, well, Volksgrenadiering towards the front line as well. East side rations bring up a bit of tank traps there from Jibber. Right, bring up here west side here. Might be playing to hurt for the western fuel point there. We'll have to see. Eastern fuel point there. Ration's going to dig in with some tank traps. Kugelwagen bring up here. I imagine he's just going to keep churning out Volksgrenadiers. Very standard Oberkommando West build order there. There we go. Kuhwagen charging against Raisins up close, looking to just mess here with Jibber's grabbing of the fuel point here. In this regard, Jibber having no infantry nearby, of course, to assist, makes this a very easy task for Isildur. Of course, Jibber has other plans in mind. He's going to flank around and sort of hit Isildur where a bit more hurts. So, sneaky play there by Jibber. Not even planning mines on the possible retreat path of these units. That's going to be devious. Third round squad there for Jibber. And democracy. Second Volksgrenadier squad there for Isildur and the German army. The 116th Panzerdivision, which as a division was a bit unique. It was actually formed up from part of a training and replacement Panther battalion stationed, I think it was in Brittany or Britannia. Can't quite ever remember which of the two. And the shattered remnants of the 16th Panzer Grenadier Division. So it was a quickly put together division in that sense. Kuhwagen there being pursued, but the rifle squads here taking a lot of damage here from the M1 Garands. They're almost punching through the hull of the armored car. Or the armored car, but the Kugelwagen. I mean, according to some German propaganda, I'm sure it's heavily armored, but, you know, reality is it's not. 4th round squad here for Jibber, going for a very infantry approach here. Bit rare from American players in general, I think. Most people just tend to go for like 2 to 3 rifle squads, then lieutenant. But Jibber here clearly is looking to leverage the full arsenal of democracy here versus Isildur and go for a lot of riflemen, probably lieutenant or captain as well. At which point he's obviously going to ask a lot, or you know, if things can stick light machine guns on here versus Isildur. In fact, he almost gets the Sturmpion squad. In fact, he might get the wipe here on Isildur in the early game here. That'd be a great kill of Jibber, a strong, stirring success for freedom, but actually doesn't. Almost. Got the Kugelwagen, but not the Sturmpion yet. The other rifle squad, I think, kept pace. Maybe could have gotten it, but yeah, oh well. Happens. Well, that was really close, and there's, you know, something in causing opponents' Kugelwagen to explode inside their own base. That nonetheless sends a message. As it always does when your car explodes in your garage. And there's a bunch of angry Americans staring at you with guns. Not that I've experienced that personally, but you know, you get the idea. Truck on the way, the Isildur, the Schwerer Wehrmacht-Schlepper. Back hit reinforcing healing. El Capitan there for Jibber. The most gibberous of gibbers. Moving about, hitting car points again, looking to mess here with Isildur's fuel economy. Samax up here. Isildur taking a measured approach here versus Jibber and democracy. Back reinforcements going on there. Reasons, Riflemen, all in need of replacements. They've taken quite a few hits here from the Germans, of course, in the process of fighting them. Culture Sturmpion against Rifle Squad here. No grenades from Jibber. Again, he's probably setting out all the munitions for those light machine guns, so not a lot to hold out with here. He stacked a lot on getting that Kugelwagen Sturmpion up and only got the Kugelwagen, so ultimately didn't quite get as much map control as you'd like, though still able to get some in there versus Isildur. Actually helped slow down Isildur's fuel economy. Isildur with the Battlefield headquarters, pretty standard choice here. Amilly Fields is a map I think can make mechanized regiments work, but at the same time, I don't think, you know, Isildur's going to get punished for not going for it. Rifle squad moving up west side here, Reason's also moving up. They note he hasn't reinforced them. Jibber is fairly confident no Germans are going to appear to shoot them. Which is typically where the fates intervene and materializes some Germans nearby to finish them off. So, captain out there for Jibber. And, oh, he's actually using the supervisor ability. Thumbs up there. That is the rare sign of skill there from American player. They actually make use of this ability. In this case, used to supervise out the mechanized company command post, and will likely use it to supervise the anti-aircraft tactics. That's a pretty devious play versus Jibber, and could suddenly put Isildur into a very uncomfortable position, and not just, you know, having his Kugelwagen explode right inside of his base. He is going for the flak half track, but versus Jibber, it will hit too late once Jibber remembers. Yeah, there we go. Again, the cap gives a significant boost, as you might see there. The anti-aircraft tactic here from Jibber is being advanced very rapidly. In fact, it's already overtaking the flak half-track, which actually began, you know, construction somewhat earlier here than Jibber's anti-aircraft half-track. So that's a very powerful ability the captain has. Of course, on top of a unit that was already, you know, combat worthy, and you get basically for free for taking up. Well, I'm mentioning this because I remember so many players telling me for the Wehrmacht, you know, the Officer Back Comes one was great, but like no one ever went from or used the ability. Meanwhile, you know, I'm pretty sure the same players go for the captain and they never use the abilities. So, yeah. Anyways, personal grudges aside, truck flak happening forwards here for Isildur, the 251-7T Model C, from my understanding. There was also Model D, which moved away from a large flak gun to just a smaller 2cm autocannon. I think that could still be used against aircraft, but notably smaller turret with a bit more room in the back and might have potentially carried infantry as well. But there you go. Going for the anti-aircraft up together. Isildur perhaps looking to slap Jibber down here. And Jibber, main factor, falling here into Isildur's counter slap there. Who does pull back the half-track though. Not that difficult, since all needs to just move it forwards. That's literally all the driver needs to just hit the gas pedal. Ambulance there for Jibber. On the west side of your flak tail, folks, are going to move here for the western fuel point there. Jibber's riflemen there, certainly a bit beleaguered. We do also have light machine guns now being handed out to the men, significantly increasing their firepower here. Forcing. Half-tanking about here. Fairly damaged. A Kettenwerfer for Isildur. Forwards. Second half squad equipped with the Browning 30 cal light machine gun there. They also had a Browning 30 cal water-cooled machine gun, which is actually the standard medium machine gun of the United States Army. Which, interesting enough, does not feature in Companies 2. It does feature in Companies 1 and will feature in Companies 3, but interesting enough, never made an appearance in Companies 2. Kettenwerfer there for Isildur, almost done. Of course, going to be a important tool here versus Jibber's anti-aircraft half-track. Jibber, by the way, still pretty much just rolling around here at the front line, which is quite bold there by Jibber. Of course, could pay off, but there's also like the chance, like say, you know, Isildur had a panzer strike there. Kaput goes to half-track. Of course, a Kettenwerfer inbound, or the flak half-track even. So I feel like Jibber definitely wants to repair that anti-aircraft half-track before, you know, turns into scrap metal. Meanwhile, while Isildur filling up with more full grenadiers. No commander yet here chosen by Isildur and the German army. Grabbing the eastern fuel point back from the Germans again. Full grenadier squad halfway down there for Isildur. So the longer this is going, this less like there's going to be breakthroughs, so there's more likely going to be other special operations or Overwatch, in which case it's going to be primarily for the sector assault. If for this one, primarily for the Command Panther, we could also make use of the infiltration tactics, which, you know, with full grenadier squads is pretty good. You get like 5 grenades for 20 munitions. That's quite good value. Alright, squad advancing. We now got 4 squads equipped. Interesting enough, he's equipped one with the echelon, well, his squad with a light machine gun, but yeah, it's definitely not what you equip. And there you go. Isildur does, in fact, pick special operations here with radio silence, the Sturmoffizier, the infiltration tactics ability as just mentioned, the Infrastrukturgewehr, and finally, the Command Panther. Also being routed here by a swarming horde of infantry there from Jibber. Again, a lot of light machine guns on a lot of riflemen. And Jibber certainly has a lot of infantry with 5 squads here versus, well, Isildur's 5, though of course, crucially, Jibber's got light machine guns, Isildur's got a few assault rifles, but ours is primarily just Kar 9 TKs. definitely is a bit favoured here for Jibber, as long as he plays his cards smartly and avoids the flak half-track, which is certainly not going to be too impressed with the light machine guns. Got the half-track ripping to the Sturmpionier, or West Side Cap Rascal against the Fulton UC. Rascal being pushed back with the flak half-track there. Isildur is not going to hesitate on unleashing upon the Americans, no matter what. Jibber with a pack house is an interesting choice here. Would have figured maybe an anti-tank gun to help put it into the flak half-track here. But instead, Jibber goes for the pack house. Obviously provides him some solid artillery here. So, I mean, it's not going to be a bad pick for Jibber. I'm just a bit surprised because most American players typically won't go for it like this fast, and certainly not this as an Oberkommandos player. It's more your choice against, say, a Wehrmacht players like, you know, being pretty stubborn about the whole, you know, not conceding ground thing. MG-34 de Isildur. There we go. Pack cards out there. Note the pack cards was pretty much only distributes like paratrooper units and mountain infantry though. Of course, some units might still have gotten it either way, but technically that's kind of what it's meant to go for. It was basically the, you know, American equivalent of the Gebirgsschütze, which was basically just the leichte Infanteriegeschütz without a gun shield. But basically, you know, a light howitzer in a sense there for close infantry support there. North here, we got the full northeast field, grabbing the fuel point right under Jibber's nose. Isildur's got pretty good field control here versus Jibber, actually, and Jibber has been sort of struggling to really maintain, though again, he does have an impressive infantry force. The flak half-track has been quite effective here for Isildur in helping contain it, and Jibber's not really been actively hunting down the flak half-track either. Of course, the pack howitzer may start to complicate things for Isildur. I imagine that is Jibber's hope it does. First shot there flies over the heads of the machine gun crew here. I'm sure the crew prefers that rather than through their heads. Second shot though, great hit there, kills Otto despite him being furthest away. And Jibber now commits to a second pack howitzer. He is definitely opting for some pretty harsh artillery tactics here. A more grinding attritional strategy here from the Americans now versus Isildur, which with two pack howitzers definitely has the potential to like wipe units here and there and could make it much more tougher for Isildur to, of course, leverage his support weapons versus Jibber. Though again, he maintains good full control here. Jibber very much can control the center though, is letting Isildur have the fuel point, and this is definitely great for Isildur because more fuel means, you know, he can more successfully push for tanks, whereas Jibber's going to struggle to get them. Of course, again, Jibber's strategy does seem to, at least for now, not be hyper concerned about having it, but it would still be a good idea to deny his opponent fuel as well at the very least. Rascal got back to engage in the west. Schwerer very much step up there, flak after in the move as well. So a lot of engagements here. Rascal numbers the foot goes the Sturmgewehr. They have the light machine gun, they have the veterans, on the other hand, they do lack health here. They're also quickly lacking numbers. And of course, I would say the tipping element here that decisively wins the engagement with Jibber or Isildur no matter what is, of course, the flak half-track. Like, even the Raven had, you know, some really insane RNG there. The flak half-track would have pretty much just tilted over anyways. But there you go. Double pack cards here for Jibber and the Americans. Versus Isildur on the 116th Panzer Division. Anti-aircraft after going up. Sturmpion advancing. Rascal suppressed. I imagine that MG-34 is about to feel the wrath of Jibber's pack howitzers. Yup. Could also catch any units on the retreat path here, like that Fulton escort potentially could get, you know, pretty pulverized. So far, though, Isildur's machine gun crew is having a fair amount of luck until the retreating units past it. Pretty good amount of luck there for Isildur. Less so for Jibber. Another volley there. Hope to hit the kidnapper, instead hit dirt. Very lucky there for Isildur after being fixed up. Still got the machine gun there, needs to silence that with the pack howitzers. And take there for Jibber, thumbs up. Isildur with the Schwerer Panzer headquarters there. And the machine gun also decides to maybe vacate the premises before the premises get covered with them. Black Captain Westwards here, 2 kills, Veterans 1. East side here, Raisins there using the volatile ability with light machine gun. Not a bad idea though, keep in mind they do become more susceptible to incoming fire, so already low on health, they will have to, again, evacuate there before they get utterly annihilated by Isildur's full squadrons. Flak half-track knocked out by the anti-aircraft half-track. Good kill there by Jibber. Therefore removes a particular thorn in Jibber's side. And of course, in particular his infantry side, and could allow Jibber now to gain more map control. Of course, Isildur's ahead with a schwerer Panther at quarters, and may be able to push out for a relatively fast Panther 4, though Jibber's not far from a Sherman, so both sides sort of relatively well paced for their tanks a bit. And there you go, folks, been caught with the anti-aircraft half-track here, plus rifleman. Rather nasty crossfire here with a lot of machine gun fire there. Raking the Kevin around the scene. Pack cards, of course, remaining here in reserve for Jibber. And there you go, machine crew utterly annihilated. Grenade assault here from Isildur, thumbs up. He could consider the Sturm Officer, probably won't, but he could. Isildur got Rascal with the full secondary, Sherman on there for Jibber, and Democracy in there goes, seizes the MG-34. Things just got a lot more uncomfortable for Isildur here. Does go for the Panther 4 Model J, very sensible choice here. I mean, he could, Furex trying to look for something bigger, but under current circumstances, with all the pressure here that Jibber's leveraging on Isildur and the casualties piling up, I think trying to stay up for something big here for Isildur is going to have too many risks involved. And too much, opportunity cost. There you go, M43 showing up for Jibber, switches over to high explosive right away because, he's primarily concerned just about German infantry, and the Sherman is quite good for that with its high explosive shells. Captain moving forwards. Panther 4 Model J almost done there for Isildur. What will Isildur go for next? I mean, so Walsdad no Sturm Officer could think still be a handy addition. Already though, Panzer arrived to stiffen up Isildur's frontline Truppen. The Panzerkampfwagen 4 von Jod, last model of the Panther 4, very much streamlined for cheaper and more efficient production. Also, the reality they're starting to run out of certain resources, so it lacked certain things like, for example, a generator for the turrets that was actually hand cranked, meaning fairly slow turret rotation compared to earlier models of the Panther 4. Of course, the game does not reflect that. It used to, but people didn't like that. So, fun fact there. Sturmpini was Ralph squad here. In the center, they're going to push here with a major now. Also equipped with light machine. I mean, Jibber's got so many light machine equipped teams here. That definitely adds another complication here for Isildur's infantry. Jibber certainly leveraging the United States Army's vast quantities of guns against the Germans. East side here, the Volkscast and the Rifle Squad here, almost swapping that with the Sturmgewehrs. Could get a wipe here, of course, be great for Isildur, but no. Jibber's luck pulls through here. Panther 4 there, moving eastwards. See, we got the Sherman 40 heavily damaged, though. Jibber is definitely at high risk of losing it. Isildur with another cannon officer concerned about that tank. If you can get rid of that, that would certainly give his Panther 4 much more freedom, because there is one particular gap that otherwise in Jibber's current strategy and force composition. Besides the Sherman, he has nothing really to seriously threaten that Panther 4. No bazookas, no anti-tank guns, nothing. Except, I suppose, a lot of snares, but that's not going to be the most cost-efficient thing to take out a Panther 4 with, to put it gently. So right now, Isildur does hold a particularly good card on his hand here versus Jibber. And I imagine Jibber's trying to figure out how exactly on earth he's going to deal with that, with what he's got. Again, this is sort of the situation where, like, it would have been great for Jibber to control the fuel points better versus Isildur. They maybe had more time. Playing more stuff against the Panther 4. So, sharp move, they're of course rushing out the Panther 4. Good read on Jibber's overall composition and how to, slam it down. That said, it's also worth noting he's being active with it, but he's not being reckless with it. He knows, like, one mistake could still end up in trouble with his Panther 4. So he's playing it, aggressively, but also, I think, very sensibly. Another grenade assault here. Pack cards have been the danger zone. We got 1 with Veterans 1 and 7 kills, so 5 kills, but close to Veterans 1. Sherman has the Panther 4, and the Sherman is actually 2 here. Note what Jibber did actually is switch the crew between the half-track and the Sherman, allowing him to quickly get his Sherman to Veteran 2. Thumbs up there to Jibber. Excellent. Really leveraging some of those American advantages in companies too. Storm Pioneer out it. These was the foot in the center. Pearson's routed there. Almost got the foot with the Sherman. 10 kills, 22. Weapon racks there for Jibber. So I imagine that's going to be a bunch of like BARs and Rifle Squads, because on top of the Browning light machine gun, which they can have one of, they can still pack a BAR or say bazookas. So I imagine that's part of Jibber's plan here, right into the schwerer Panzer quarters. I mean, so we'll have to see what he goes for, but I can't expect, you know, Browning light machine guns here, maybe bazookas. Up to good to go. As for Isildur, he could go for another Panther 4 now. He could also try and hold up for something bigger like a Panther here versus Jibber. Hard to say though what Isildur's plan here is. Big 2 points wise, Isildur does have a nice lead on Jibber still. German, they need repairs once more. Grabbing the northern victory point, got the Volkskriegs moving in here. Prioritizing repairing the Sherman, getting all everyone he can repair. Get repaired, repairing it. Pack out to find the Volkskriegs. Veterans run another one. Go force way again. The double pack house definitely create a bit of a persistent problem there for Isildur, when like if he loses attention with one squad at one point, he could quickly lose it to the pack houses. So it definitely adds some stress there to Isildur all the time. Which is probably why Jibber went for it. Could advance the pack cards a bit further forward. Sherman being pushed back. West side that point, grab the captain. Sherman getting hit by the Captain Alpha. We do have 2 out here for Isildur. As again, Jibber continues to just rely on the Sherman. He might be going for Jackson next to more Sherman here versus Isildur. Hard to say. 361 since 92. Panzerkampf coming up here, close to 82 here, and there you go, good shot on the Panther 4. Anti-tank rifle going against the Panther 4, damaging the engine, leaving it a bit awkward. After the remaining reserve, trooping up the west side here, again, a lot of machine guns. So many light machine guns. Also, there being absolute rip party with the Brownings. And forced to retreat there. Captain the West here was the Volkskriegs as well. Fairly consistent use of radio silence here, but Isildur, partly because it gives us immense sprint when they're not in combat, but also probably to help mess with Jibber a bit. Maybe he's relying too much on the main map or the tactical map. Radio silence makes things very uncomfortable for Jibber then. In fact, players who are highly reliant on tactical map and mini-maps tend to be very vocally unpleasant, uncomfortable with this ability. Whereas players with like me who don't really make that much use of them don't really mind. But anyways, Command Panther out of Isildur, starting to bring up more tanks here versus Jibber. That will definitely, I think, force a Jackson here for Jibber, and maybe some bazookas. Maybe not, but definitely some Jacksons and some tank guns. So I got the Panther named before the 2 team here, going in hard for Germany, closing in ready to turn that Panzerkampfwagen, ripping through the machine and Gewehr crew. There you go, Riesen's equipped with 1 bazooka. Top of that Browning light machine gun. Shot bounces off that Panther 4, the shoots, and they're absorbing it. Apparently the armored side skirts, while not intended to, you know, deal with bazookas and whatnot, had an effect against them. And in the Model J, they basically just replaced the more, you know, larger solid armored side skirts with wire mesh side skirts that help deal with that. But, you know, at a lower cost than weighing down the tank less. So, fun fact there. Hackers need to move on the Volkskriegs DC. So Isildur maintaining fairly good map control against Jibber, and Jibber, there's just sort of struggling a bit against all of this. He's also gone for a lot more weapons here, and I imagine it's... Is it BARs or is it bazookas? It's bazookas. So he's basically going hard on the bazookas and light machine guns. So a lot of his infantry, besides having that Browning light machine gun, also bazookas, so he can sort of like fling out a lot of bazookas. And of course, because the light machine gun is sort of shown there, Isildur won't necessarily know until like they start firing, unless he's like paying very specific attention to the infantry squad. So that could also add a bit of a surprise element there. Pulls on the fire here, and there you go. Panther found the bazookas. 2 penetrating hits here. Very lucky for Jibber. Less so for Isildur. Let's see, folks. Holding the line for now, but the bazookas also makes it harder here for Isildur to rely on the sandbags for long. Wondering about he's going to flank around here, threaten Isildur's retreating units. Sharp play there. In the center there, advance continues. Panther 4 striking off it from the bazookas again. Panther blasting away there. And there you go, great hit from the Sherman. The Fulton squad almost wiping out the entire unit. The light machine team, in fact, could get a wipe here on Isildur. Does he get the wipe, or will Isildur's luck pull through? No, it won't. Panther 4 charging through the center. We've got the Sherman counter-tank back up the bazookas. There we go, penetrating hit it from the Sherman, damaging Isildur's Panzerkampfwagen. And Isildur going for some Obersoldaten. Also, a fair amount of munitions being floated by Isildur, but we're not seeing, say, mines from Isildur. Might be an oversight there. Route squatting westwards. Heading eastwards there with the rifle squad there. Sherman number 2 on the way for Jibber, so no tank destroys from him. Just good old-fashioned Shermans. Captain with the bazooka in the shed. Shot bounce there for the Panther. Failed to penetrate, I suppose. Obersoldaten advancing, adding to the MG34. No Sturmgewehrs there for Isildur's Obersoldaten. More pack out to fire here. Panzerkampfwagen advancing. And radio silence here from Isildur again. Tank support is here. Sherman ready. Go. Second Sherman ready here for Jibber. That was a bit awkward there for the Sherman. Lucky though for Isildur. Now the second Sherman is out here. And Isildur's armor is here and there. Of course, can't tell easily where they are because of the mini-maps. That, again, adds some complications with me here as a commentator. But then it's only like a minor issue. Panther about to get pelted by the bazookas again here. Steadily advancing here. Pack carts and machine guns backing up. Pete Jibber's bazooka light machine gun force there. Shot failed to penetrate the Panther there. West side here, half to go on the west point. We got major flanking in there. But in the center east here is where Jibber's main thrust is going to be. He's going to try and take out his tanks now before they get out of hand. Not a bad idea by Jibber. There you go. One bounce, one penetrating hit. Bazookas are getting more hits in there. Panther 4 there. Less than half health left for the Panther. Does cause Jibber to disengage with the Shermans. We'll soon go for third one in theory. In the west here, full squad almost wiped out. Almost got another wipe here in Isildur. In fact, Mr. Jibber, but no, doesn't try for it, I think. Lucky for Isildur there. And there you go. MG34 crew in trouble. The full squad Orbs and Sherman up here again. Switching attack explosives once more. Panther with a damaged engine. Mention the MG34. Panther there, half health. Rifleman advancing. A lot of bazooka fire there. And there you go. Veteran T2 Sherman down. It's actually a pretty good kill there. Isildur removes a significant threat. There we go. Panther though shrugging off more bazooka hits as they fail to penetrate the enemy's 80mm of sloped armor. Route squad about to get wiped out. Almost got the command Panther there. Sturm Pioneer charging in. Concussive grenade here could be likely. Sherman trying to provide covering fire there. Shot failed to penetrate again. Can't get close enough. The Panther 4 free there is absolutely for Jibber's infantry. And there you go. Forcing the entire lot to retreat. And then could even see a wipe there. Or maybe several wipes, which would be devastating for Jibber. No, not a single wipe there. Very lucky for Isildur. I mean, Jibber, less lucky for Isildur. Steel opponents almost got wiped with the pack cards there. Yeah, Command Panther somehow survived all of that. Very fortunate for Isildur. Imagine like just any of those bazooka shots there, but the end had penetrated. That would have been the end of his Command Panther, would have left Isildur much worse off. He's going for another try. That'll be the Mechanized Regiment. Possibly just to assist with repairs here. Possibly, of course, setting up for a King Tiger in the longer term, but certainly just additional, you know, repair pioneers. It would be a very good thing for Isildur under current circumstances. But also crucially means less management because the repair pioneers work automatically. So it's like, you know, some things like, you know, have to less focus on. There you go, ladies and gentlemen, grenade assault here. Good aggressive use of that by Isildur. Ground Western victory point. Isildur, I think, maintaining fairly good map control today versus Jibber. Jibber still to some degree struggling a bit with it, though not as much as it did in the early game. Not as much as it did there. Sticking in by the eastern field point there. Got the pack houses at it again. Forced off the center. Mechanized Regiment on the way there. Command Panther slowly being fixed up by the Ace Sturmpionierer. Panther moving in, shoots, misses. Got another bazooka flurry there against the Panther fort. Down a half health already here. Down to less than half health. And then I go repair pioneer, see if these do us Mechanized Regiment headquarters. Panther meanwhile is half fixed up here for these do. 298 with turn 14. Keep a quickly in control of the center again, looking to stop the Isildur's bleed against him. Very necessary, of course, on the western side field pumping grab there. And there you go, Sherman wreckage wrecked. So the forces have no covered hardpan against all of the light machine guns. Major setting up here inside the shed. This is now my command shed, sir. It's just a tool shed. You're a tool shed. That wasn't very nice, sir. Pack cars are flying away there. And there you go, Command Panther good to go, and Panther further repaired by the Mechanized Regiment headquarters. Again, just less management here for Isildur, which, you know, at this stage of the game, I think is a very welcome addition. It's also one of those things why, you know, the crew repairability here for the American tanks is just so handy-dandy. It's like, you know, again, also just less management. You just need to pop up the crew and they start repairing. Panther forming out here. In the east side here, we got the Captain of the advancing Command Panther. Another failure for Bazookas to punch through, but there you go, Sherman to the rescue here. Takes a direct hit from the Panther 4 though. There you go, damaging the Panther 4 down to almost half health here. After finding some very light support at this point. Jibber clearly not willing to commit it here because he's probably going to lose it anyways, but, you know, still going to keep it out to, like, maybe help, you know, deal with a few small attacks here from Isildur here and there. Command Panther close to 22, Jibber's Panther 4 very close to 24, being hauled back to reports the Mechanized Regiment headquarters once more. Isildur meanwhile committing more force towards the center, just like Kedmavs and the Command Panther though. Pack cards here could definitely wreak havoc on the Kedmavs, which could get very expensive for Isildur then if Jibber grabbed and chance against Isildur. Fortunately for Isildur, that does not seem to happen here. It is, of course, worth noting we still don't have any like anti-tank guns from Jibber. We do get a Jackson tank destroyer fire on the way here. We need to use the Captain to supervise that faster. (266 to 214). East side the always on push back with the Sherman. No 50 cal answer that one, by the way. That does stand up a wee bit. Of course, needs to be careful about standing about with his infantry like that against, you know, an opponent with 2 pack howitzers. That's practically an invitation to get possibly something wiped. And there you go, great hit from the Panther 4. They almost takes out the entire Ralph squad. An absolutely outstanding hit here. Veteran the 4th, 31 kills. Jackson almost done. He's got the Major and the Rifle Squad there ripping into the Fulton Grenadiers there. Panther 4 is still here. Pack Carters bombarding, hoping to hit something. But instead, they hit nothing. Command Panther moving up here steadily. Pack Carters find themselves a bit more exposed here. Bazooka firing that Panther 4 there, closing on the ace level. Panther sneaking up. Jackson right in there. Go Command Panther going straight to the Jackson. There you go. Command Panther gets the first in the Jackson. Marks the Jackson for death as well there. Isildur's Felix's Jibber there. Go Sherman flanking into. We're going to try and go for the Command Panther. There you go. Command Panther gaining Victory 2, adding shots into that one. That's improving its aura. Making things just a bit tougher there for Jibber on the west side. He could go up in the western field point there, but clearly Jibber's so occupied elsewhere. I don't think he's quite realised he didn't quite get a right click in there. Jackson the heavy need repair, so it's the Sherman. Packard's there hoping to hit something, but they keep whiffing there. Close to hitting the opposite, but ultimately just not close enough to like even make any remote impact on them. Quickly occupying the building here with the captain. Gebaldeladung here. Far west Major pulling back there. Half coming up again. Jackson almost fixed up. I'll take that one, but there we go. The Sherman is now fixed up here. Overtime was the captain. Captain not really in the best position there, but probably just being used here as a decoy to keep the Orbison fixed in the line of sight here while the Packhards murder him. Almost got the captain there, but not quite on the west side here. Half check did get knocked out by Isildur. And we got a grenade on the MG-34, pushing it back and almost wiping out. Here's some pretty devastating hits from Isildur against Jibber, but it is not enough to break Jibber. It is not enough to break democracy. Panther 4 there, very, very close to the ace level there. Half-check still need to some crews. I can give a final time for that. With things already as tense as are, can Jibber locate them? Stumpini charging in the ace level, 21 kills, and there you go. Panther 4, Betty 4 just scores another brutal hit, 42 kills. Thinking about the Panther 4 mod in-game is, it has, because it starts with the armor, it has also more accuracy, and the veterancy bonuses also provide more accuracy. Like a Betty 4 Panther 4 mod is actually like hyper accurate versus infantry, and thus is quite good. Packhards are getting flanked with Command Panther, got the Jackson responding just in time here. Bazooka fire gets the Panther as well here. In the west side, Panther 4 diving off as well here. Losses piling up there for Jibber. Packhards and crew getting exterminated by Isildur. And there you go, Panther 4 achieving the ace level with 46 kills here. Well, practiced ease, it snuffs out Americans like their candles at a candle store at closing time. German 14 getting the Panther 4 first shot there, failed to penetrate. May have been firing high explosives, yes indeed. 46 kills on the ace Panther 4 though. Jackson moving up here, we got the Major in the centre as well. Here we got 235, 155. More ops on here for Isildur. Starting to figure he may need some more elite infantry, apply more pressure to Jibber. Thumbs up to that. Almost got the Panther 4 there. Got down to half health. Jibber though really needs more armour and possibly more tank destroyers. Infantry setting out here in all directions. Troops suppressed here. Major moving forward. Jackson moving up as well here. Academy of the Rich response to this particular brace move there by Jibber. On the west side, the Rifle Squad once more seemingly are a bit misclicked there, so they stand next to the point there, but I'm quite honoured this time that Jibber reacts by actually moving them onto the point. Sherman falling back here, still involved with a half-track here, Orbison advancing. Machine guns on the way there, Jackson getting pumped here with the Command Panther, anti-tank grenade there on the Panther. Jackson shoots, getting ready to there. No HVAC rounds, may want to pop those. MD for the Raket in the Alpha. Sherman could try and flank end here, but I think there's so much going for Jibber. I don't think he's realising he actually has an opportunity to take out the Command Panther. Meanwhile, Isildur's infantry continue to clear the way through here. Jibber's front line, and there you go. Flanking the MD-34 crew, they wipe and destroyed entirely, denying Jibber, of course, a chance to get it going again here versus Isildur. The things are starting to get a bit more painful for Jibber as Isildur starts hitting more accurately and more aggressively. Panther 4 heading westwards there to assist the beleaguered Fulton Grenadiers there. Or perhaps going to go for that Rifle Squad there, which will have to retreat through it. Of course, is bad news with Jibber's infantry there, as they're already below half health here, so that counter retreat here past units with grenade assaults as well there could become very uncomfortable. Never mind the ace level Panther 4. Meanwhile, fresh push here by Jibber, a throng of infantry unleashed here upon Isildur's front line. Straight for the center, which has been left fairly exposed, but clearly not concerned because of the Panther 4 model there at ace level. Crowd score charging out here, 49 kills on the Panther 4. Damage engine. 50 kills on the Panther 4. Jack's moving in there. Popping the H-Rap rounds. We got the kidnapper there, but there we go. That's forced retreat. He almost got the Panther 4 with the Jackson now. And there you go. H-Rap round combusts the ammunition there, blowing up the Panther 4 there. Quite spectacularly. Also charging force there. That would have been kind of tough. The Panther 4s actually had a protected storage for the ammunition. So, little fun fact there. Interesting enough, the Panthers, on the other hand, did not. Grenade assault here wipes out Ralph score. Better blow there to Jibber. Panther then in need of some light repairs. You could go for another Panther 4. You could go for King Tiger. You could go for another Panther. We'll have to see what exactly Isildur goes for versus Jibber. As of Jibber, he's not far away from getting more armor. Tank destroyers. 75 points left for Jibber. Victory points once again. He's been struggling a bit as well on top of the fuel point early in the match. And this could prove to bite Jibber in the arse. And it's also interesting considering like he's actually had like a fair infantry edge throughout the match. We've just not quite been able to leverage that into victory point control on a more serious level. Again, it's not like it's been complete domination of Isildur either, but there's still a notable gap. Meanwhile, Isildur's bringing in a second Panther here versus Jibber. Another Panzerkampfwagen 5. Sherman they're at it. Packhart's back in action against those goddamn Nazis. Command Panther moving up here, closing an AT3 there for Deutschland. 48 points left for Jibber versus Isildur. The gap grows even more dangerously large here between Isildur and Jibber, and it is very much favouring Isildur at this point. Jackson almost fixed up, Panther almost done. Also moving in here, Panther's almost done. At which point Jibber will be up against two Panthers, one command version, one regular. Also with the Ralph score, got the west side of the foot going up here, going for that victory upon the west. Sherman there, closing in the east level. Jack's being hauled up here, popping the 8 rounds, thumbs up, there you go, great shots on the Panther, down to a third of his health, on the west side here. Ralph score there, needing dire support from the Sherman, they're being utterly overwhelmed with the Germans, but the Sherman there can definitely wreak some havoc there. Second Panther Ralph that goes for the Sherman, which is absolutely not ready for this. We've got the infantry flank of the Panther, Bazooka fire on the Panther here, pushing back Isildur's Panther very narrowly, saving the Sherman. But there's still, well, overall total of 2 Panthers and a bunch of Echidnas. The situation for Jibber is certainly far from clear. Victory points wise, he's still dangling above the waterline with his arse.
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture points.
So he's still got a lot of work to do here. Oh no, he accidentally treated the Sherman crew. Right near the front line here, meaning an easy kill here for Isildur's Echidna crews. That's a huge blow to Jibber at one of the worst possible times. Then where this converts is Isildur grabbed the Sherman and turned against Jibber. That thankfully did not happen for Jibber, but that is still a pretty horrid development. We get a Brown Light Machine that dropped as well here. Situation is just not improving for for Jibber. Every moment they just things keep going more and more sour here. Panther on the east side, very close to the in the command version. Regular one there being fixed up. West side, you got the half-track actually knocked out. Another Sherman there for Jibber. Infantry was the Obersoldaten. Jackson there slowly approaching the east level. There you go, that's going to be, I think, be a white pin. Isildur's Obersoldaten. Panther gets several hits in the Jackson with the command post rushing in. There you go, Comet Blitz, thumbs up to Isildur. That's going to end him. Jibber's tank destroyer, meaning he's down just bazookas here. Versus the Panthers. Soon as Sherman, Packard on top of the east level of that. Now we also got the infantry through, and the situation for Jibber's really turning pear-shaped now. His units are just dying and increasingly, accelerating pace, and he lacks the firepower to really halt Isildur at this point. Even going for the ambulance at the base here, veteran free here on the Command Panther. Pack cards are wiped again. And ambulance there dying a bit out of the way of the Command Panther. Fulton's being hammered here by the infantry. Going for the other pack cards, wiping that crew. Sherman on the move, straight into the Command Panther's line of fire here. Mark target on the Sherman bazookas, firing away there. Some going through, others do not. Grenade assault here. Mauling Jibber's infantry, already beleaguered. Command Panther's about to get knocked out, half A24 though, and there you go. A can never save the day here for Isildur's Command Panther, but it still goes down. Either way though, it is a loss here for Jibber as he runs out of victory points, a victory for Deutschland, a loss for America, freedom, and democracy. Some interesting strategic movements here by Jibber, but in the end, I think part of the issue is tactically wasn't able to focus initially on the fuel, and later on struggled to get the victory points under control. I think that was something Isildur held quite well, despite times losing engagements. His focus on the victory points and fuel points proved to be very helpful in the longer run, and undermined Jibber's, I think, ability to maybe win the game fairly well. Toss in some other factors, and Isildur, I think, still but slowly turn the game around in his favour. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe. You can also donate via PayPal, links in the description. If you're in the market of peer company free, you can do the link in the comments. Use the code Coh2 G. This is Imperial saying cheers. Thank you all for watching. I hope you'll see you tomorrow again for another episode. Bye.